Hello everyone. Just thought I'd throw up a very, well, just a quick live stream here just to say to everybody, Happy New Year. Love all you guys, love all the stuff that is going on out in, like here in the shop, and still getting bikes in, even though it's January. You can see there's a bike behind me there. Move over, move that way. You'll be able to see that there is an RT on the lift. And that is going to be, I'll be working on that one this week. The guy brought it in here for a bunch of services, just kind of like routine maintenance services. Anyway, that's the one I'll be working on. I just got an LT out of here today, actually. It went out. It's sitting outside right now, and it's going to be 1 degree tonight or something, or maybe 1 below. Anyway. So Happy New Year to you guys. Throw some comments up if you if you got any, or if you got any questions. I know I didn't really announce this one coming up, but I wanted to let you know that maybe you thought I hadn't, maybe I died or something, but no, I'm still around, still very much around. I'm still doing what I do. I'm thinking of some videos that I'm going to probably be doing this year. I think I need to update one of my videos, that being the video that I had for my favorite tools. I've got a lot more favorite tools now. Since I did that particular video, I have gotten rid of so many tools, so many Craftsman tools. My Craftsman rant video. I feel like I still can't stand the Craftsman brand anymore. After that video, I feel like I broke. Even when I rewatch it, I feel like, I can't speak enough just how much I can't stand that brand anymore. So much so that I think I even last year, maybe it was last year or 2 years ago when I did that video, I had a snowblower that was a Craftsman, and it was a pretty light one, but I picked it up and I threw the thing right in the garbage because it said Craftsman on it. That's how much I really just despise that thing. So I've gotten a lot more tools now, and a lot more great things, great tools, things I just really enjoy. One of them sitting right here in front of me. You can't really see it, but I'll just show you. So you have seen this in some of my videos. This is my my 1/4-inch drill, and I love this drill. This is just fantastic. The reason I love it so much is it has a toggle switch on it, so you can go forward and reverse just, without hitting a button. There's no button on the side of this to go one way or the other. It is a 2-speed drill. Love that drill. Anyway, yeah, glad to see you guys. Happy New Year to all of you. Don, Jim, I see you out there. Really appreciate you being here and hanging out with me for a few minutes. My dog is down here as usual. Coco's down here. It's on the floor right below me. He's taking a nap right now. Don't know if you guys got any snow where you live. We got a little bit yesterday, and I was able to get out there and, help the neighbors out, do the usual things that I do. Haven't had too many bikes in here over the fall. As many of you already know, or maybe some of you don't, I work on furniture as well. I have a business. It's called the Early American Workshop, and that's in Crystal Lake as well. And it's all run right out of this same shop. I do everything right here. You can see above, if you look behind me, above that bike, you can see the wall is like kind of a color, and that's from spraying everything on. When I do my spraying in here. But yeah, I don't know. There's some furniture that's over on the side over here, and there's a trailer out in the driveway that usually has furniture in it, and things are in just various states of repair or disrepair. all over the place. The other thing I do is, you know, for a hobby, I do shooting. There is a gun in the background over here. You might be able to see it back there. One of my ARs, and you know, that kind of stuff. My microphone is making strange noises. Oh. Well, this probably won't be a real long video. Hopefully hopefully it's okay. Might be you. I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. Anybody else having an issue with the audio? That's never heard that on. This is my really good quality camera with a kind of like a boom mic that hangs off of it. I'd be really surprised if that thing had an issue. Let's see. Our club today had bad audio. Everybody's saying bad audio. Well, let me jack with this thing a little bit. Maybe there's something wrong with it. All right. Maybe that's a little bit better. I actually turned the fan off. There was a fan on in here, and it was running a lot. Yeah, I can see there is like a background audio going on. I'm looking up at one of my screens right now, and I can see there's some kind of weird audio there. Huh. Well, I don't know how to fix that right now. You guys will just have to put up with it a little bit. I will re-listen to this, and yeah, it's very strange because in my shop it is very quiet in here. Almost no noise at all. There's like a really small fan that's running way off in one of the corners, but that thing doesn't have very much noise to it. Well, anyway. So anyways, I just wanted to throw up a very quick video and let you know some of the videos coming up. I was going to do like I said, my favorite tools video. I do have probably 5 more videos that I still need to go in and edit. And it was kind of like one of those things where like, all right, should I do some editing tonight, or should I maybe do a live stream and just connect with you guys just to you know, let you know that I'm still alive and I'm still making videos. If by some chance you guys, you know, are in the U.S. and you do want me to work on your bike, or Canada, or you want to send me your bike, whatever, that is something that can happen. I get bikes in still from all around the country. In fact, this year I had probably my biggest year yet when it comes to the amount of bikes that came in. I had let me pull up my stats here, and I'll kind of read them to you. I had 39 K bikes on the lift. I had 7 R bikes and 2 other bikes. So others being, I think one of them was a Honda, and one was, I don't even know what the other one was. Maybe it was a couple Hondas. I don't really work on Hondas too much. I mean, I'll do, you know, some basic stuff on them. But anyways, yeah, I had 39 K bikes on the lift, and that wasn't just the LT either. I was doing K16s. I'm starting to get more and more of those in. Starting to get a little bit more comfortable working on those. I'll be bringing some videos on those. I did a clutch job on a what was it, an R1200 GS, one of the newer ones though. It was a late model one, so I think it was like a 2015, and I did the clutch on that, and that's the one with the clutch that's up in the front of the bike, and that actually really, man, I would do that job all day. That was one of the easiest clutch jobs to ever do. You know, it had a clutch pack in it, but it was up in the front of the bike, so you just remove the cover, and you had to, you know, line up the plates correctly. But gosh, I'd do that one again. That felt like nothing. It was like a 2-hour job compared to the LT, which takes, you know, on a good day, it takes 14, 15 hours to do. That was quite the thing. So some of the other totals that I've done, I decided to pull all my invoices and take a look to see, you know, like just for my own curiosity, how many times have I done certain jobs, and just the ones that I've invoiced. Now, I think that there's quite a few of them out there that I didn't invoice, especially when I first started doing things. You know, maybe didn't pull an invoice or whatever, or make something, or maybe I made a bill that wasn't like my typical looking invoice. Those of you guys out there that maybe have seen that, or you know, my work order. I've got so I've got these papers that I do. You know, it's kind of like a check sheet. It's like a 3-page check sheet, and then I will create a list. And when I do that, then I keep a copy, and I give a copy to the customer, make recommendations, and so on. But anyway, I digress. So I kind of tallied up this year of some of the things that I've done. So I've done on various bikes. Now, you know, the majority of them were the LT, but I've done like 28 clutches, 58 sets of brake lines, 96 brake and clutch flushes, 73 oil changes, 64 air and gas filters, linkage services, did 71 of those, and the list goes on and on. You know, valve adjustments and valve checks. So one of the questions I got from one of my patrons was, how often, you know, when you get a bike in to do a valve check, how often do you actually wind up having to adjust the valves? Now, on an R bike like this one that's behind me here, that's going to be every single time. I have not seen an R bike yet that the valves were not somewhat out of spec. You know, and then there's an adjustment procedure to do those. But when you do a valve check on like a K bike, or like the K1200 LT, or you know, just a K1200 bike, those are hit and miss. They can be, you might go a whole lifetime on the bike without with never having to check to adjust the valves. Then again, there might be some other ones that need frequent adjustments. My particular LT, when I bought it, it had 22,000 miles on it, and I checked the valves. I wound up changing or swapping 5 valve buckets on it. That was a record, and I think it's still a record. I've done up to 5, but I've also done, you know, just 1. There's usually 1. Anyway, all that to say, the valve checks. So I don't know how to do, you know, like real quick percentages. Some of you guys do though. So I've checked 67 sets of valves, and out of that 67, I've had 31 that needed adjustment. So that's I mean, I don't know what that is, 47% or something. So you guys that have the LTs out there, just know that if you go in there to check your valves, you may there's a good chance, there's almost like a 50% chance that you're going to have to adjust valves. Spring changes, like the Hyper Pro springs, I've done 37 of those. Lots of HID lights. Serviced a lot of the electronic hydro, or the center stands, the electric the hydroelectric, whatever they are, EHCSs. Anyway, just wanted to to say all that and take a few of your questions. Hopefully I get some of this. Hopefully some, man, I don't know what all that audio issue is. No matter what, brother throws a Craftsman away on camera. Yep, I'd like to throw them away on camera. I've only got like 1 or 2 Craftsman tools left. I do still have a set of the Craftsman SAE stuff, because, man, I barely ever use SAE. You know, maybe to change out a spark plug or something on a lawnmower, but it's not worth me, you know, investing in another set of tools. But I will be bringing a video on that, on my favorite tools. Anyway, what am I riding these days? I am still riding my K1200 LT, my first one. That was the one I purchased in 2011. It is a 2000. It currently has, I don't know, 113,000 miles on it. I don't know, it's got over 100,000 miles on it, and it just keeps plugging away. I do notice that it is starting to smoke a little bit more when it's, you know, when it's cold, or I really make a habit not to place my bike on the side stand or leave it parked like that unless I have to. But even if I don't, it will still smoke a little bit upon startup over 100,000 miles. So I'm gonna talk to some other guys that have, you know, traveled it road before me, but maybe I'll change the valve seals or something on it. That could be a good video. Do some valve seals. I think that's probably all it needs is valve seals, rings and stuff like that. Yeah, it's got really good compression, and it's in good shape. Usually it's the valve seals that leak, where the oil gets, you know, through the valves and gets on there. I just had a guy write to me that said that he had his bike that fell over, like at night or something. You know, it fell over and laid on the left side of the bike for like 9 hours. And he started it up, and he said that it actually it humped the engine because it probably had so much oil in the cylinders that it almost, you know, kind of hydrolocked or oil locked. And he said now it's running just terrible. And once he did get it started, it was just a hopeless mess. Yeah, I'm gonna go and turn this one fan that is running off, and we'll just see if it makes a difference. The other thing is, it might. I don't think it's my computer. Let me just pop off camera for a second here. Give me a minute. Alright, I turned the camera off. I don't know if it's any better. Look at that, my wife showed up. Oh no. Hi, honey. I'm talking to the guys. Oh, that's fine. What year is the RT in the background? Yep, I'm not really sure. I seriously just pulled that thing into the shop. I think it's like maybe a 13 or 14. I don't know. It's a good color though. It's like my favorite color. I love that color. No change. Oh, that stinks. I don't know if I move the camera. Like maybe there's a vibration or something coming through. Let's just try that once. Oh, I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's way better. Huh. Well, I'm not going to sit here and hold the camera, though. Hold on, guys. Let me put it on my tripod. Figures. Can't have anything nice, right? Whoa. All right, there we go. Looks like I stand for the rest of it. Well, I'm glad to see that we figured out what the problem was. I think where the issue was is my computer is on the desk as well, and it must be sending some vibration through my the little shelf that I had the camera sitting on. So glad we worked that out. And anybody else got any questions, anything like that? You're very welcome for the videos, and thank you for watching, Jim. Yes, we have something good. We ride BMWs, definitely. And glad to see you guys in the UK. Isn't it pretty late in the UK? It's got to be like after midnight, isn't it? Well, so I don't know if I'll be making any videos on this particular bike that's sitting here, because it's really just in here for some general services. Maybe one problem that the guy did have, he's got an issue where the fuel strip in here is junk. So I might do the fix. There's actually a way to use a little piezoelectric starter, and basically you shock the fuel strip, and when you shock the fuel strip, sometimes it can come back to life. Maybe I'll make a video on that. And then there's a way to calibrate the fuel strip through the GS911 tool, so that might be a thing. Yeah, Germany. Yeah, I see that. Midnight. What fuel do I recommend? I recommend any fuel that is non-ethanol, for one, and the highest octane you can put in whatever you've got. It just doesn't pay to not put premium fuel in. You know, the little bit of money that you might save on the cheaper fuel, you get cheaper results and cheaper performance. Most of these bikes are designed for the higher octane, so 89 or above, or in my case where I live particularly, it's 91. And I can travel to the next state and get non-ethanol fuel. If you are able to get non-oxygenated fuel or non-ethanol fuel, that's going to really save on your fuel lines, especially the ones that are inside of your tank. It doesn't matter if it's this RT right here behind me or the LT. They all have those the rubber fuel lines that are down in there. And over time, with the constant exposure to ethanol, especially over the winter, if you let it sit there, the fuel becomes very acidic, and it will start to attack that rubber, and it will either swell it or it will dry rot it, and it causes so much havoc. The last bike that I had in here, the LT, it was sitting since like 2018. That is going to be a little video, you guys. That might actually be the next video that you see come out from me. Is I made a very short video on when I was diagnosing what the fuel issue was. The guy took his bike into a dealership in Indianapolis, Indiana, and he asked them to evaluate what the problem was, because it was in a non-start condition. And they just sat on the bike. They sat on it basically from April to when the guy brought it to me in November. And they never even looked at it. So I didn't know that at the very first part of the video. So if you guys do watch that video, you're going to hear that it is, I thought that they looked at it and they couldn't figure it out. It wasn't that way. They just apparently never had time to look at it, or maybe just outright refused to look at it. That one, it turned out the bike had not been running since 2018, like maybe late 18. And, so it was sitting around for like 3 years, and the gas was just awful. It was just pure varnish. And ethanol gas, it just ate everything. It even ate the wires. It chowed on everything. So rewired everything up, and now the bike runs, and it's, no problem at all. Steve, good to see you. Linscomb, glad to see you're watching. And it's 41 degrees in Lodi, California. Hey, that's warm enough to ride, man. That's not too bad. Can I get ethanol? I can get ethanol 87. Should I add stable? Only if you're gonna. I would say if you're gonna leave it in there for a long time, then yeah, definitely add some stable. If you're running your bike, my experience with ethanol is that if you're using your bike, you're on a trip, whatever, and you're constantly refreshing the fuel, ethanol really is not that big of a deal. You don't get quite the amount of performance as you will out of pure gasoline, because ethanol doesn't have the same amount of BTUs in it that gasoline does, or the same energy. But you're not going to really damage anything by running a little bit of ethanol. So as long as you're not storing it. If you are storing your ethanol, if you're having to store it with gas in it, do yourself a big favor and run the pump every once in a while. Go out there in the wintertime and, on a warmer day in the winter and start your bike up. Cycle a little bit of fuel through there. Exercise the pump. You don't want the pump sitting in just in a static place, because it just goes to hell. I don't know what happens. And then in the spring, either pump the fuel out of there and put fresh fuel in, or go on a nice long trip and run all the fuel out of it, and do it as soon as you can in the spring. That's a good question. I appreciate that. Saying the Boxer twins are made in Germany, Spandau, and like parallel twin engine. Sorry guys, I'm looking off camera like that, but it's the only way I can see it. Parallel twin engines are made in China. I don't know about that. I hope not. I hope not. I'm sick of the stuff made in China. Oh, ethanol free 87. Oh, well, Mr. Plain Talk, if you can get ethanol free 87, that's going to be better than nothing. I'll tell you, anything that's ethanol free, at least that stuff is not going to turn to hell and rot out all the internals of the fuel pump and system and everything, especially if you leave it over time. It's always just about leaving it over time. We here in the North, Illinois and Wisconsin, anything that's in the northern climes, a lot of us have snowmobiles, and we hate to leave fuel in our snowmobiles, but we do. And when we do, sometimes, depending on the quality of the fuel, it can go bad. It seems that fuels, though, in general, have gotten a lot better since the, from the 70s and the 80s. Those of you guys out there that have been riding or driving that long, the 80s, we really had some crap fuel for a while. They did that MTBE stuff, that oxygenated stuff, that was garbage. The fuel in the late 70s was just a horror show. It literally, you could let it sit for 2 months and you'd turn your carburetors green. It was terrible. Now they've gotten a lot of detergents and things like that are in the fuels that really do make a big difference. They seem like, they care a little bit more. Maybe their quality control is a little bit better. But yeah, good to see. Triumphs are all made in Thailand now, huh? Well, all right. I don't buy Triumphs, but I know people that do, and they like them. Hopefully they're making half decent ones. And yeah, greetings from East Tennessee. Well, cool. Glad to see you. You'd like to see some more tutorial videos, Sebastian? On what? What do you need to see? Because I am open to suggestions. I'm not saying that I do everything that I see, but if I'm able to and I can throw a video together, I'll be glad to make one. I've made so many on that LT. I don't know what I can cover if I'm not recovering, ground that's already been taken care of. One, maybe I can do that. Change out those valve seals, like I was saying earlier in this video. Maybe another one is if I ever get one in here to change out the timing chain. I can make a video on that. I really don't see a need for that because, man, my bike's got over 100,000 miles on it, and I checked the chain, and it is fine. I know that in the book it says to change it at a certain interval. I think a lot of these OEM manufacturers put things in the video or put things in the manuals just to help out the shop in the back. They're like, oh, you're going to ride it for 40,000 miles? Well, you better, change the gimbal bearings or something, or muffler bearings might need to be changed. So anyways, all that stuff. The real world is different than what the book says, I think, sometimes. They're saying all the time that you got to check check your valves on your LTs if you have one. You know, you got to check them every 12,000 miles. The way I run my shop here, and a lot of guys bring their bikes back for service all the time, my rule of thumb is if I get your bike in here and I check the valves and it doesn't need any adjustment, then I'm going to push it out. I'm going to push out. It's not going to go 12,000. It's going to go 24 till the next time I check those valves. And but then again, if I check the valves on your bike and it needs an adjustment, I will recheck them again at 12,000 to make sure that they're sitting stable. Pretty much once they stabilize, you can, you know, let them go further service. The other things that I let go, move to the 24,000 mark, are the air filter, the gas filter, and the spark plugs if you're using the NGK iridium plugs. If you do, then, you know, you can push those services out further. And I guess it also depends on where you live. I mean, if you know you got really bad gas in the, you know, in the pumps, or you've had issues before, you need to change the filters. If you live in a real dusty area, like, you know, maybe some places in California or out west somewhere where it might be more dust, or you get smoke in the air, that kind of thing, you may want to change out the filter. So any BMW that has the Rotex engine are assembled in China. Well, I didn't know that. I hope I don't know for sure if you're right or wrong on that there, Bogus, but I hope you're wrong. That's all I could say. Those are actually pretty good engines, those Rotex engines. They work pretty good. Very well may be, though, that they are like that. I don't know. Have an 08 with the CD player in the top compartment. Thingy that looks like a whale tail. Do you have a video on removing it? I absolutely do. Yes, I do. So if you go and you look at, I don't remember the title of the video, but if you go to the channel's page and you click on the search feature there, or whatever, you know, the little magnifying glass, and just type in radio, you'll find the video. It might have been like removing and replacing a radio, but you'll see on just how to pull out that radio and get rid of that nightmare. And, you know, pulling out the CD changer out of the side compartment on the bike is, it's really straightforward, very easy to do. So that one, I don't even know if I ever did a video on that, so you'll be able to check that out. So anyways, guys, I just really wanted to make a very quick video here and wish everybody a happy new year. I really hope we do have a better year this year than 21 and 20 and all the other all the BS that's happening in our world. Don't know if it's going to get better or worse, but we always hope for better, right? So, last question, Mr. Plaintalk, what's that thing called again in the LT community? Well, I don't know what your question means. I don't understand. What's the thing called again in the LT community? Can't say as I understand that one. William Johnson. Hey, good last name. Definitely. I'm glad to see you're enjoying those videos on your RS. Yeah, it's so close to the. When I've had some RSs in here, and I'm like, oh, these are like a dream to work on compared to the LT. You don't have to take all the side panels off and do all that other stuff. So that's really cool. And anyways, guys, thanks again. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I will be seeing you real soon with a video coming out on probably that fuel pump. So happy new year, everyone. Love you guys. And, and last thing, if you wanted to get a hold of me off of outside of the comments, you can always drop me a line over at kirksmotorrad.com, and I'll respond to you via the email. So you take care and have a good one. Thanks.